yeah, it just hasn't been something that I really have enjoyed using at all. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Friday Vape Club. As always, your host Squidly Tris, back for another review for you. Today we are looking at another pod mod kit. This is the Vaporesso Luxe PM40. So it's a little pod kit. You put your pod in there, you got your battery, you press a button, and it vapes. It is that simple. Yeah, so this is from Vaporesso. They sent this my way for a review, so thank you very much, Vaporesso, for sending it to me. Really greatly appreciate it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dive down, take a very quick look around the Luxe PM40. So stick around, watch this video. Do not forget to smash that like button for me. Do not forget to subscribe so you stay up to date when I release new videos. And yeah, drop a comment down below, why not? It always helps the channel out. So let's dive down and take a look at it. All right, so here we have a closer look at that Luxe PM40. A couple of quick specs on this. It is 96.5 millimeters tall. It is 30 millimeters wide, and it is 21.5 millimeters thick. It does have a 1,800 milliamp hour battery on the inside, and it does all the way from 5 to 40 watts. Let's take a look at these individually, shall we? So this is the battery housing here. Up the top here, you do have your pod connections. This is your airflow slot on the side here, followed by your screen. And this is what your screen looks like. So you've got your battery level indicator, you've got your wattage, and you've got your puff counter and your resistance up the top there. Now to change the wattage, you have to click the fire button 3 times. Now you just push that button to go find your desired wattage. For me, it is 25, and then just leave it. And there you go, the wattage is locked. Down this side, you do have USB-C charging capability. Underneath, not really much to write home about. You do have some more airflow slots, and then this right here on the back, I'm calling it the back because that's the fire button. On the back here, this is your airflow adjustment. So you slide this across, and it shuts down the airflow. That airflow is closing off. So that is your AFC adjustability. And then on the front here, this is your only button. This button turns the device on and off, and it also fires the device as well. So it's not air activation, it is in fact a push button to fire. You do have this design. There's a couple of different designs that they've got going. This is sort of like a blue, sort of like acrylic resin look. It is plastic, so don't get this fooled. This is not a resin design or a resin inlay or anything like that. It's just a plastic cover. And then you've got this, I'm assuming it's some sort of zinc alloy in like a brushed stainless around the outside for the chassis. Same design on the back as on the front. That's pretty much it. There is nothing to this thing. It is a very simple little pod mod. So let's take a look at the actual pod itself, shall we? This is the pod that you get. This does come with 2 different coils. You get a 0.6 and a 0.8. Both of them are mesh. The 0.6 good from 20 to 30 watts, and the 0.8 good from 12 to 20. This pod does hold 4 mils of liquid, so you get a decent amount of liquid in here. It is a push and play style, so your plug and play, you just literally push the coil in from the bottom. You've got a couple of O-rings around the bottom, as you can see, which really seal this in place. Now this is the drip tip up the top here, the mouthpiece, quite a nice ergonomic mouthpiece, and this mouthpiece hides the fill system. Now there are little grooves right here on the side where you're supposed to get your nail in and try and lift this mouthpiece out, because if you try and just pull from the mouthpiece, you won't be able to get it. You really have to get your fingers or something in there to try and get this mouthpiece off. Give me a second. Once you've got the mouthpiece off, you can see you have a grommet style filling system. So you put the tip of your bottle in here with the grommet, push it in, fill it up, and there you go. All the vapor comes out the top there, and you've got like a little, what I would call a bleeder valve. So this will allow the air to escape as you fill it up. Very simple design, very easy. I like that. This mouthpiece just clicks into place like so. No, it doesn't. This mouthpiece clicks into place like so. Snaps in. You can also see down the bottom, this is your airflow, and these line up with the airflow slots on the actual battery housing itself, and the pod just sits in place like so, ready to vape. So that's a quick look around the Lux PM40. Let's take a look at the packaging. Here we have the packaging. I should have been a hand model, but you get the Lux, you get a picture of the one or the colorway that you've got. You got some information down at the front there as well. And that's what's on the back. Some specifications, so on and so forth. But let's take a look inside. All right, here we go. So in here is where your Lux will be sitting. You do get 2 coils, as I said, the 0.6 and the 0.8. You get a spare pod, which is pretty cool. And you do get a USB charging cable. You also get the Vaporesso little goodie stuff in here. So there's a user manual. You got the anti-counterfeit thing and a warranty card. The Lux PM40. Let's jump back up top. Let's do pros, cons, price, and if I would recommend this or not. All right, so we had a closer look at the Lux PM40. What we're gonna do is take it for a vape. I have got the 0.6 ohm coil head in here. It is at 25 watts. I'm gonna push the button and we're gonna take a vape. But first, the liquid. This is the liquid that I'm rocking, Redsins by Buddhist Dude. This is just like a Redskin lolly. This is the closest thing I've ever had to a Redskin. It's got that lovely, lovely raspberry candy flavor, really bloody good. So let's go. Gonna push the button because you have to push the button, and let's vape away. It works. There you go. You push the button and it goes. It's always a big pro in my opinion. So let's talk about the pros and the cons, shall we? So the first pro for this, these coil heads. Vaporesso know what they're doing with coil heads, and you get some really good flavor with this. These coil heads that they use in here, no different to the GTR, from the GTRX or the GTRXS range that they have. I'm not too sure what they're called. I think it's the GTR. Anyway, the whole range is good. They've got really good solid, all the way from 0.2 all the way up to the 0.8 ohm. Just really great mesh, fantastic flavor, really well solid put together coils. So yeah, you can be rest assured that the flavor and the coils in this are pretty bloody good. As far as pros, there's just a moth landed next to my desk. What the f? As far as pros go, that's about the only thing I think this has got going for it. I mean, maybe the looks, if you dig that look, it's not for me, but I can see it being quite appealing to people. It is plastic, so it's not like resin or anything like that. It's just a plastic cover. But yeah, I mean, it looks all right. I mean, if that's your bag, baby, then maybe it's not for me. That's about it. So let's discuss these cons, shall we? First con for me is it's not air activated. They really missed the mark with this not being air activated. When you're giving someone 0.6 and 0.8 ohm coils in the packaging, you are sort of saying to them, this is a mouth to lung device. Every other pod kit mouth to lung system that I've had other than an RTA has always been air activated. This would have been perfect if it was air activated, as well as using the button to fire as well. Now, talking about that button, that is the only thing you have got to change the wattage in this. You have to scroll up through the wattage till you get to 40, round robin to 5, and then all the way back up to your wattage that you desire. Now, if you miss that by 1 or 2, it can be a pain in the bum, especially if you're OCD like me and you want it to be on 25. I don't want to vape at 26. I don't want to vape at 24. I want to vape at 25. That is the number I want. And if I'm vaping at 26, it kills my OCD. So Yeah, just give me a couple more buttons so I can scroll through it up and down. Would have made a lot more sense. Now, the other thing that I take issue with this is to get the top piece off. Now, the top piece, it is quite difficult to grip from here. There is a little indentation in the side there, but trying to get your nails in it is damn near impossible. So this becomes very, very difficult to open and to get your nail in there. Got it. It takes a fair amount of time, and that's frustrating. It really is frustrating. They should have made that a little bit deeper for us, because if you're anything like me, your nails just skip right over the top and you don't get any purchase on it at all. So it became a real pain in the ass to fill. And the last con is this airflow. Now, I've got nothing about having airflow or adjustable airflow on here, but the way that they've done this with this slide, and then it moves something over this airflow and blocks it, it just looks like it was an afterthought. It looks like they went, shit, we've got no airflow control on this, I will just bang a slide in. That's what that looks like. If you're looking at this from a design point of view, wouldn't you have had the button up here to kind of align with the airflow? So at least from a design point of view, they looked very similar, or come up with something different. But I mean, this just looks cheap. It feels cheap. And I really strongly believe this might have been an afterthought. And that's really disappointing from Vaporesso. It just hasn't been something that I really have enjoyed using at all. So let's talk about the price, shall we? Price. So what is the Vaporesso Luxe PM40 going to set you back? A little bit of Google foo around the internet, and I found it on sale in the States for $32 and for $45 here in Australia. Let me tell you, for that kind of money, I wouldn't waste my time. So you obviously know what rating I'm going to give this, but if I do a rating on this channel, and my rating goes, it's either the best device ever or it's the worst device ever. There is nothing in between. It's just best or worst. And this, unfortunately, just due to the cons, fits in that worst category. There is nothing more I can say about it. It's just the cons, too many cons. Back to the drawing board, Vaporesso. Yeah, really disappointed in this. So that's all I've got for you guys today. I really hope you enjoy it. Like always, please like, please share, please subscribe. Remember YouTube, keep it cloudy.
A Gutter Slut production.